I would like to call to order the December 17th Milford City Council meeting. Can we please start with the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Jackie, will you please call the roll?
Mayor Evans,
Here.
Vice Mayor Parrish,
Here.
Mr. Velardo,
Here.
Mr. Price,
Here.
Mr. Thompson,
Here.
Ms. Cooper,
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Here. All right, we start with proceedings. So I have a motion to approve the council meeting proceedings from December 3rd.
So moved. Second.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo,
Yes.
Mr. Price,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes. And financial statements. Do I have a motion to receive the November 2024 finance report?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper,
Yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Mr. Price,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo.
Yes.
And that takes us to public comments. Would anyone from the public like to make a comment? All right, with none, excuse me, with none, we'll move on to standing committee reports. Public Services, Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The Public Service Committee met yesterday, December 16th. Present were, I called the meeting to order at 9:30 a.m. Present were myself, Mayor Lisa Evans, and Ralph Velardo Jr. From staff, we had City Manager Benjamin Gunderson, Service Department Supervisor Ed Hackmeister, Cemetery Clerk Tamara Meese, Finance Director Pat Worthland, Assistance Finance Director Julie Castile, Assistants to Finance Director Sasha Shell, Finance Specialist Rebecca Todd, Planning and Community Development Code Enforcement Christine Seltzer, Utility and Permitting Specialist Taryn Egner, and Executive Assistant Jackie Bain. For our visitors, we had Dylan Osborne, Project Engineer with TEC Inc., Andrew McKenzie from NIC, and Steve Gregsell from Brandstetter Carroll Inc. The first item that we did was approve the October 9th Public Service Committee minutes. Mr. Velardo made a motion to approve the minutes. Ms. Evans seconded the motion. We all said yes. We had a discussion regarding the 2025 road resurfacing of city roads agreement with Claremont County. Ed Hackmeister, Service Department Supervisor, discussed the participation in the Claremont County Engineers Resurfacing Program. Many other townships and some villages tag along with the county's paving plan. In order to participate in the program, the committee and council must approve legislation for our participation through Claremont County Commission and Claremont County Engineers Office. The committee reviewed the agreement information. Exhibit A was reviewed, which identifies the streets that we would like to pave in 2025. The cost of $293,753.39 was reviewed. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance to enter into an agreement with the Claremont County Commissioners and Claremont County Engineer in the amount of $293,753.39 for the purpose of participating in the 2025 Claremont County Road Resurfacing Program.
Second.
Mr. Thompson,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Mr. Parrish,
Yes.
Mr. Velardo,
Yes.
Mr. Price,
Yes.
Ms. Cooper.
Yes. We went on to discuss the utility rates and other fees. Finance Director Pat Worthland presented information regarding a 5 fees. Staff suggestions regarding current rates and fees were discussed in length for each: water and wastewater, storm, solid waste, planning and zoning, building permits, and administrative fees. The city plans to do a utility study of our rates as well as other fees being tabled and to be discussed at a later time. After much discussion with staff and visitors, the committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance amending Ordinance 18-1340 that 100% of the revenue to go into the water operating fund not not be separated, and to increase the water usage rates by 20%, starting with the January 2025 meter reads billed February 2025.
Second, but I think for the rest of council, and I know this
That's-
is last night, I think we should take a second just to bring everyone.
Please,
And
I would appreciate
Jan and
that.
I had a conversation earlier. That was a lot of information to get at such a late, time. So, and I think in fairness to the rest of our colleagues who weren't on that committee, we spent, what'd you say, well over an
We
hour?
were,
Well, 3.5
so
hours.
we were there for 3.
Yeah, we were there for 3
change,
hours, but just
but
an
yes,
hour just
yeah.
discussing rates. And there was gonna be so much more into this, so.
We're gonna
I-
do
I
a major
don't,
study.
know.
Do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead. I
I'll say,
mean,
we decided to do a major study of all the rates, but we are raising the water rate for the next year already, because it's way behind schedule. Most of these rates have not been raised in over 20 years.
Yeah, 20 year, and I think we're close to $1 million combined in a projected deficit in our water and sewer rates. So in fairness to, again, to our colleague, we spent hours discussing this yesterday, and I know you all got, and I really need to commend Jackie, because she did a yeoman's job of trying to disseminate all that information, and Pat and her staff provided us with a lot of information that needed more than just yesterday to
Right.
really go through. And to Benjamin's he kept saying that this was his 5th day on the job, and, so there's a lot of catch-up. So that 20% rate is a hard pill to swallow. Don't get me wrong. I think it's hard for the residents, but understand that what did we say, 20 years, right?
20,
Yeah.
20 years.
Most of the rates were 20 years.
Yeah. So,
We also looked at other municipalities to see where we fell in the rankings of things and all of that, but
and even with this, it only takes us
Yeah, we're
a
still-
few, we're still
Yeah.
In a
way in the
deficit.
middle.
Or,
Oh, no, I mean, looking at other rates.
We
compared
started,
Oh, okay.
we started out
Other
trying to do a
communities.
5-year projection, and it was impossible,
Yeah.
because the data, and Pat, last time I believe she shared with us that it was 18 months ago. So there's just so much more information that, as our new city manager will be able to provide us, I think, with a little more insight to bring us up to where we really need to be. So we apologize that we've thrown a 20% out there, but again, that was kind of just to get us started to kind of click off the major deficit. And in fairness to the residents, for 20 years, they've technically underpaid. And, so we've done our best, and our staff and everyone else has done a lot with a little, but we're unfortunately paying for it now.
yes.
okay, thank you for
Any
that.
other questions from council?
Any other, yeah.
Yeah.
So this 20% is just for the next year, but then, like you said, we're gonna conduct a study to see
It'll-
where we.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like Ralph said, we were gonna try to do a 5-year, like 18%, then 12, whatever, but we're still gonna be in a deficit in 5 years. So we decided we need to do a major rate study. Go ahead.
And I'm sorry to interrupt. And why that's important is, well, there's a few reasons, but we don't want to do 20%. The goal is to spread it, right? Whether it's 5 years or 10 years, right? The goal is to spread it, so we don't have these 20% increases. Maybe we have to do a 5%, but that's far more manageable. But also, we need to ensure that we're staying competitive. So if we've got to do infrastructure improvements, stuff of that nature, we've got those revenues to support that. And this is typically required when you apply for those water and infrastructure grants, is some sort of a replacement schedule. So really, this is an important project, and by doing that study, that allows us to have someone that does that for a living, to evaluate what our rates are, where we need to be, surrounding municipalities, and then make a recommendation.
Thank you.
But I will give kudos to the finance department. They've done a phenomenal job providing recommendations to the best of their ability, so I do give them kudos. But I think this is just the start, and we're gonna keep moving forward, so.
And to our finance department's credit, they have been trying to push this agenda for 18 months. And it got stonewalled for reasons we all understand why, but it got stonewalled, not because of what they weren't doing, it's what they weren't being heard. So,
Yeah.
again, this is just a small step. And And again, Kim, I apologize.
No,
for-
no, thank
I
you.
just felt it, of council understand how deep this really goes, and it was impossible to try to tackle it all in one meeting yesterday, so. That's all.
Was there a second?
I second.
Second, yeah.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance amending ordinance 06-518, the Avenue 25 meter read, February 2025. Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance amending ordinance 04-358 to increase the stormwater utility rates from $5.50 to $6.50 per monthly ERU, starting with the January 2025 meter reads billed February 2025.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yeah.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance amending ordinance 2004-368 to adopt the attached schedule of planning and zoning. Oh, we don't need to do that, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do need to do
Planning
this
and
one.
zoning.
Yes.
It's
This is the next
one.
Okay,
Right, you
sorry.
got it.
Okay.
Sorry.
The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance amending ordinance 2004-368 to adopt the attached schedule of planning and zoning recommended fees presented by Christine Seltzer, Planning and Community Development Coordinator.
Second. Oh, sorry.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. Then we went on to discuss the Water Tower Cooperative Agreement regarding financing from Ohio Water Development Authority, OWDA. Finance Director Pat Worthland seeks council's approval to apply for a 30-year, $1,642,228 loan at 4.07% from the Ohio Water Development Authority. OWDA offers a cost-effective and efficient funding solution for utility projects. This loan would address the funding gap for the approximate $4.6 million water tower project, which is already supported by a $3 million Ohio Builds grant. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft an ordinance authorizing Benjamin Gunderson, city manager, to apply for, accept, and enter into a cooperative agreement for construction of Wallace Avenue Water Storage Tank Project between the City of Milford, Ohio, and the Ohio Water Development Authority, and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Next on the agenda was the request for the 2025 tax advances from Claremont County. Finance Director Pat Worthland discussed how the city annually requests periodic advances on the real estate tax receipts and other county revenues as they become available. This ensures the city receives funds more promptly, aligning when they are earned. Without this request, the city would receive tax distributions only twice a year in July and November. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft a resolution requesting the Claremont County Auditor advance payments of taxes due to the city of Milford during 2025 pursuant to section 321.34 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Second.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
In other business, Mr. Velardo has received numerous requests for a traffic study to be conducted in the Stone Ridge subdivision, similar to what is going to be done on the Wallace Avenue street. Dylan brought up the Lila Main Streetscape project and how Kleiningers has proposed a maintenance ordinance to address right-of-way concerns, sidewalks within the project area. It would permit them to perform maintenance on said facilities. Mr. Osborne also discussed where the project is now. The biggest items that Ed Hackmeister discussed were the 18-inch to 3-foot gap between the curb and the sidewalk along the project area, which is a minor amount. As it stands, and in order to pave the area, it would be an additional $150,000. Paid just by the city, since it is beyond the original grant amount. Mr. Osborne recommends that the cleanest way to do it would be to do all the sidewalk and decorative stamped area all at one time. This would cost an additional 50% more. The committee agreed, as well as the city manager, to make this aesthetically pleasing, especially leading to the downtown, which connects the uptown. Mr. Gunderson asked Mr. Osborne if he could get a better understanding of the project and for Dylan to bring back information to the committee for further discussion regarding options and cost. Mr. Osborne said there is a timeline for the information, but he would like to discuss it further. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director draft a resolution to establish the boundaries of sidewalk repair and maintenance within the downtown business district on Main Street and Lila Avenue in the city of Milford.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. There being no further business, the meeting adjourned at 12:04 with a motion from Mr. Velardo, seconded by Ms. Evans.
Thank you. A long but productive meeting. That takes us to Mr. Gunderson and our city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I get into the report, I first and foremost want to thank everyone for the really special swearing-in ceremony that I had. When was that? A couple weeks ago. Apologize, I don't remember the date, but I know there was a lot of time and effort put into that, and I want to thank Jackie, the police chief, the fire chief, and everyone else that helped with that. That was very special for me, and I guess I got a little caught up in the moment, so I didn't say a whole lot, but I do appreciate it. Moving into my report, I'm going to go a little out of order here, but I do want to give my appreciation to Mr. John Jones back there. He is a wealth of knowledge, as everyone up here is well aware. He has provided me with a ton of information, observations, recommendations, and I'm very appreciative of that. So thankfully I've got a couple more days, so I'll pick his brain a little bit more and see if I can find couple more jokes out of him to use on other people. But over the last
At my expense, by the way.
over the last 5 days, we had a leadership meeting on, last Wednesday. That was a good opportunity for myself to meet pretty much all of the administrative staff, as well as we had quite a few service department employees there, so that was a great introduction. I attended the Personnel Commission meeting on 12/12. That was not quite as long as the meeting we had yesterday. I think that was a little bit faster. We had our employee luncheon last Friday. That was a great first week and a great thing to really end on. It was great seeing everyone there, and as we're all aware, the employees are a huge part of the organization, so it's nice to show a little bit of appreciation. We also conducted police department sergeant interviews on Friday. I was very impressed with all 4 applicants that we interviewed. I was super impressed with the 2 that we promoted. I feel very confident in not only Chief's decision, but the direction that the police department's going with those decisions. So that was very impressive. And then yesterday we had the Public Services Committee. The biggest thing I wanted to discuss is I've had internal discussions regarding a 100-day plan. Now I am going to start that 100-day plan on January 1st, so it'll be a little bit longer than 100 days. But of that 100-day plan, I really want to prioritize a 5-year plan across all departments, as well as that of our future marketing efforts. I think that we need to build off of what we have currently, and that might look like a website refresh or a mobile app, so more news to come, but that's something that we're going to discuss among other things. So I will be rolling out a 100-day plan here going into the new year. And then the other thing on there is we have the Flamingo Drive ribbon cutting Thursday at 3:30 p.m. I will be there. I believe the mayor will be there. So hopefully other members, Mr. Price will be there. Maybe Mr. Jones back there will show up. So that's exciting. I actually had the opportunity to tour that prior to starting, and they had no idea who I was, and they were genuine. They had a lot of passion for Milford. So that's very, very exciting. 24th, village or city offices will close at 12:30. December 25th, the entire day, city offices will be closed, as well as January 1st. And then the next council meeting will be January 7th at 7 p.m. That is all I have, unless there's any questions. Is that my-
Welcome again, and thank you.
Did I
Be
meet
easy.
my
We'll
quota?
be easy on you the first day.
Was that my 5-minute quota right there?
Yes, that was it. All right, Chief Mills.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you. I'm going to give you some highlights from my November report. Some of this is a bit dated now. It's been at least a few weeks. But in terms of call records, we took 1,041. That consisted of 403 extra patrols, 142 offenses investigated, 24 auto accidents, 129 written warnings, and 141 citations. Just a couple of notable occurrences I'll mention. Officer Williams did an excellent job of preventing a potentially serious crash by getting a vehicle stopped while the driver was having a medical emergency at the intersection of River's Edge and Milford Parkway. He actually used his cruiser to stop the car and somehow avoided getting any damage to the cruiser.
Wow.
Unfortunately, like a day later, a juvenile driver backed into his cruiser, so a lot of damage, but really, it's karma. Let's see, one more thing. I'm sure we all saw the news where we had the private property auto accident at Medmark where the driver experienced pedal confusion. She was cited for reasonable control on private property, but fortunately, nothing criminal there. Our thoughts are with the woman that was struck by the vehicle inside the business. And last but not least, I want to give a special thanks to the Kiwanis Club. If I didn't mention it before, they had me at their monthly meeting last month to donate the proceeds from Oktoberfest that really helped us fund a lot of our programs, but specifically Shop with a Hero. We spent a little over $3,000 a week ago tomorrow night helping 18 kids in the community have a happy Christmas. That's all I have unless you have any questions.
All right, thanks very much. That takes us to fire and EMS. I think this Chief Nickel is back there tonight.
Chief.
Good evening. Just a couple things. This Friday, the 20th, is the Packing for Santa Sunday Treats. Something we like to do every year. If you want to help, come down. It starts about 5 o'clock. This is I think we're in our 73rd year tradition here in the city for doing Santa Sunday. So Sunday, starting at 1, Santa Claus will be on the fire truck, going out to all the streets, handing out treats to all little kids. So be out, look for Santa Claus, listen for the siren. The only other thing is tomorrow, hopefully, we will receive our remounted squad on its new chassis and redone box. So if you want to stop by and see it, hopefully it'll be there tomorrow. That's the plan. That's where they're at right now. So that's it. Do you have any questions?
Questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that takes us to council comments. Anybody on council like to make a comment?
Well, I would just like to say, as I end my first year back on council, that as I started a year ago and to where we are today, wow. I am so honored to serve with all of you. I think we have weathered through an unfathomable thing that we never, ever envisioned that we'd have to go through and come out better than we probably could have ever envisioned. When I started here in January of last year into December of this year, what a difference. And, so I applaud all my council colleagues for the work that you all have each done to get us to where we are today, and I'm proud to be a part of that. So I thank that. Pat actually texted me during the meeting, and I just want to acknowledge that, she thanked us for saying nice things about what they've done. But I mean that sincerely. I mean, we couldn't have got through this without Pat. John, I won't say anything nice about anymore. I said that last time. So,
They worked hard.
Yeah,
They worked very hard to pull
but
that
it is. But I think it's a testament to each and every one of us of our passion to make Milford the community that we strive to live in, that we are proud to be sitting up here representing the citizens of Milford. And also, today I stopped in the City Hall, and I was amazed on just the overall atmosphere when you walk in. I've never, we had been through so many things, but, everywhere from Jackie and the guy sitting back in that little closet back there temporarily, but then to walk into the main office and to see our new city manager engaging with our staff. It's just, the professionalism and everything that we have to look forward to 2025. So I think that we're headed down a right, path that I haven't seen in years here in Milford. So I look forward to that, even with that guy, what's our law director guy? Yeah, him too, yes. And I think with that, though, in all sincerity, I want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year as we end the year. And I really do look forward to 2025. So Benjamin, welcome again. So your 5 minutes was great, but you noticed that first night you had an awful lot of people here. I don't know what happened. The honeymoon wore off real quick.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was food left.
No offense to any of us. Have food, we'll travel.
Anybody else? All right, thank you, Ralph. That takes us to,
Yep, I would like to make a motion for an executive session pursuant to section 3.054 of the Milford City Charter for the sole purpose of preparing for, conducting, or reviewing collective bargaining strategy by division G4 of section 121.22 of the revised code.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
yes.
Mr. Parrish? Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
All right, now it's the Mr. Pacheco show.
Oh, it always is. I think so, Mayor.
Participate in the 2025 Claremont County Road Resurfacing Program. City Council must approve legislation to authorize the city's participation in such program. To that end, City Council hereby approves and authorizes the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Claremont County Board of Commissioners and the Claremont County Engineer to participate in the 2025 Claremont County Road Resurfacing Program for $293,753.39. The terms and conditions of this agreement are fully incorporated by reference under and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only?
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-319, an ordinance approving an agreement with the Claremont County Board of Commissioners and Claremont County Engineer and authorizing the city manager to enter into such an agreement for $293,753.39 to participate in the 2025 Claremont County Road Resurfacing Program.
Motion to adopt?
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
He's gotta get
I'd
this
have got
guy.
that
he's
for
gotta
you.
get this guy.
Sorry.
Guys.
Running late all day today, sorry.
Fiending.
Ordinance number 24-320, an ordinance amending. An ordinance amending section 923.01 of the codified ordinances of the city of Milford, increasing water usage rates. Before I continue again, I got great help from Pat and Jackie to figure out that we already had codified ordinances, so we needed to amend those so they get put in the book correctly. So I want to thank them both for that too. Ordinance number 24-320, an ordinance amending section 923.01 of the codified ordinances of the city of Milford, increasing water usage rates. Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the municipality of Milford, Ohio, section 1. Section 923.01 of the codified ordinances of the city of Milford shall be amended as follows. Only these specific sections will be amended. 923.01A2, water usage rate within corporate limits, year 2025. The water rate will be $5.63 per 1,000 gallons. And then 923.01A3, water usage rate outside the corporate limits. For the year 2025, the water rate will be $8.40 per 1,000 gallons. The water rate above in sections 2 and 3 shall be effective on the February utility bills. And section B, which is 923.01B, 100% of the collections pursuant to this ordinance shall be credited to the Water Revenue Fund, and 0% shall be credited to the Water Improvement Fund. No other amendments are made to this particular ordinance. Section 2, pursuant to and in accordance with sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-320, an ordinance amending section 923.01 of the codified ordinances of the city of Milford, increasing water usage rates.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-321, an ordinance amending section 927.02 of the codified ordinances of the city of Milford, increasing sewer rates. Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the municipality of Milford, Ohio, section 1. Section 927.02 of the codified ordinances of the city of Milford shall be amended as follows. It's 927.02A1, inside corporate limits for residential, commercial, governmental, or institutional. The first 2,000 gallons are $11.76. The per 1,000 gallons after the first 2,000 gallons, additional $5.88. 927.02A2, outside corporate limits, the first 2,000, again, residential, commercial, governmental, institutional. First 2,000 gallon minimum, $17.64, and then the per 1,000 gallons after the first 2,000, another, or $8.82. Section B, 100% of the collections pursuant to this section shall be credited to the Sewer Revenue Fund, and 0% of such collections shall be credited to the Sewer Capital Improvement Fund. Section 2, pursuant to and in accordance with sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules, read by title only.
Second.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-321, an ordinance amending section 927.02 of the codified ordinances of the city of Milford, increasing sewer rates.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-322, an ordinance amending section 929.04 of the codified ordinances of the city of Milford, increasing stormwater rates. Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the municipality of Milford, Ohio, section 1. Section 929.04 of the codified ordinances of the city of Milford shall be amended as follows. Section A, the stormwater utility rates shall charge to each owner of property located within a municipal corporation limits a stormwater charge based on the property's contribution to run off to the stormwater system and the amount of impervious area contained on the property. The rate to be charged for the stormwater user fee for an equivalent residential unit, ERU, which includes single-family properties and duplex properties, shall be $6.50 per month. Section B, the rate charged to undeveloped property shall be determined by dividing the total square footage of the property by the square footage of an equivalent residential unit times a correction factor of 0 times the rate of an equivalent residential unit. Try and map that one out. Anyway, C, the rates to be charged for the non-residential properties, i.e. all other owners than as provided for in subsections A and B, shall be the rate established in subsection A of $6.50 multiplied by the number of equivalent residential units. The equivalent residential unit equals the total square footage of impervious area of the property divided by 2,400 square feet. That's the statistical average of residential impervious area based on a random sample of single-family properties and duplex properties in the city of Milford. Section 2, pursuant to and in accordance with sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-322, an ordinance amending section 929.04 of the codified ordinances of the City of Milford increasing stormwater rates.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-323, an ordinance amending section 151.01 of the codified ordinances of the City of Milford increasing and adjusting the fee schedule. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 151, Section 151 of the codified ordinances of the City of Milford shall be amended to replace the existing fee schedule with a revised schedule as follows. For the record, I'm not going to read every single fee here. There's a current fee and there's a new fee. What will be codified is the new fee in the ordinance book. Section 2, pursuant to and in accordance with sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-323, an ordinance amending section 151.01 of the codified ordinances of the City of Milford, increasing and adjusting the fee schedule.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
And I would say, just as an admonishment to all of us, I'd say it takes a city to turn a phrase, but the point is that we need to look at these for next year for our codified ordinances to make sure we're staying up. I understand you want to do it for the rates, which makes sense to me, but we also need to do it for the codified ordinances. So when we revisit this, for all of us to remember to underscore this, that we do this for 2026 and so on. Or if you have when you do this study, we can just impose that and then it'd be part of the codified ordinances, but we need to revisit this before December 31st of 2025, and then make sure that the codified ordinance is reflected accordingly.
That means it's less work for you.
No, more work for me, that's good, yeah,
we were hoping
exactly. I
less
gotta,
work.
I gotta pay for this tie.
Gotta pay for that.
I'm not paying for that tie, I'll tell you that, anyway.
Holiday.
Ordinance number 24-324, I'm not being very charitable, am I? It's not smart to be that way.
You knew who gave me this tie, who's now deceased.
Oh,
So,
all right,
yeah,
well, you're also
yeah.
my boss too, so I shouldn't be doing that anyway. Ordinance number 24-324, an ordinance authorizing Benjamin Gunderson, city manager, to apply for, accept, and enter into a cooperative agreement for construction of Wallace Avenue Water Storage Tank Project between the City of Milford, Ohio, and Ohio Water Development Authority, and declaring an emergency. Whereas the City of Milford, Ohio, hereinafter referred to as the LGA, the Wallace Tank is the primary storage facility for the Milford water system. The tank needs to be replaced due to inadequate elevation and volume. Only half of the volume of the 20 PSI in the hilltop areas. A new 1 million gallon elevated tank is proposed. In 2014, a new 12-inch transmission line was installed from the water plant along Main Street to the Wallace Avenue, Main Street, Lila Avenue intersection. In 2022 and 23, the 12-inch line was extended from the Lilo intersection to the tank site and down Wallace to Garfield Avenue. The Garfield Avenue line serves the newer developments to the east and the south. And whereas the LGA desires to obtain a loan from the Ohio Water Development Authority, herein referred to as the OWA, to finance costs of the planning of such facilities excuse me, on the terms set forth in the cooperative agreement defined below, and whereas the OWDA has indicated its willingness to make a loan for that purpose and on those terms. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of Milford, Ohio, Section 1, that the LGA hereby approves the planning of the aforesaid Wallace Avenue water storage tank in cooperation with the OWA under the provisions, terms, and conditions set forth in the cooperative agreement for state planning project as set forth in Exhibit A, the cooperative agreement, and hereby authorize to execute the cooperative agreement with the OWDA substantially in the form set forth in Exhibit A. Section 2, that is found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the passage of this ordinance were passed in an open meeting of council, and that all deliberations of this council and any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 3, that this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public peace, health, and safety of said city of Milford, for the reason that the immediate construction of the Wallace Avenue water storage tank at the earliest possible time is necessary in order to protect the health of the inhabitants of the LGA by providing fresh water, wherefore this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and immediately after its passage.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-324, an ordinance authorizing Benjamin Gunderson, city manager, to apply for, accept, and enter into a cooperative agreement for construction of Wallace Avenue water storage tank project between the city of Milford, Ohio, and the Ohio Water Development Authority, and declaring an emergency.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Resolution number 2024-655, a resolution authorizing request for advancement of taxes from the Claremont County Auditor. Now therefore be it resorts of sections 12.05, 7 of the
One reading.
Correct.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Resolution number 2024-656, a resolution establishing the boundaries of sidewalk repair and maintenance within the downtown business district on Main and Lila Avenue in the city of Milford, whereas the city of Milford wished to undertake the Main Street and Lila Avenue pedestrian improvements project, and whereas the city of Milford received $750,000 in federal funds through a congressionally directed spending allocation, and whereas the project includes repairs of the existing sidewalk and ADA curb ramps, and whereas a portion of the existing sidewalk within the downtown business district falls outside the existing right-of-way, and whereas as a responsibility for repair and maintenance exclusive of sweeping, clearing, and shoveling of any sidewalk installed with federal funding, and whereas Exhibit A, attached to and made a part hereof, accurately reflects the boundaries of the sidewalk to be installed in conjunction with the Main Street and Lila Avenue pedestrian improvements project, and whereas City Council believes the project will improve the downtown business district and enhance the experience of residents and businesses. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Milford, Ohio, Section 1, is hereby declared necessary and to the best interest of the City of Milford to take on the responsibility for maintenance and repair of the existing sidewalk outside the right-of-way as identified on Exhibit A. Section 2, that this resolution shall take immediately under Section 12.07 of the Milford City Charter.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-325, an ordinance authorizing an agreement between the City of Milford, Ohio, and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, OPBA, representing patrol sergeants, SERB case number 2024-MED-09-1124. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford, Ohio hereby authorizes the city manager to execute the agreement 2024-MED-09-1124 between the City of Milford, Ohio, and the OPBA, representing the sergeants of the Milford Police Department effective January 1, 2025 through December 31, 2027. The terms and conditions of said agreement are hereby incorporated by reference in their entirety pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Is this not what we were going to be discussing in executive session, or is this separate?
Good point. Thank you. My fault. That's right. I was,
Cart horse, I didn't want to make.
yeah, no, you're right. Horse cart,
A
you're
little
right.
more, and I
We have a
wasn't paying
motion,
attention, I
is
was just
Same
saying it
one.
off.
We did
Same
the
one.
motion.
Same one?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
Should still be good.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you just need to make the motion to go into, right, executive session here.
Did we already
No,
make,
that-
did we
So,
already,
he did already.
we already made the
Yeah.
motion, I guess? Yeah, okay. All right, so we're good.
Alright.
Thank you. Good
So
catch.
that takes us to old business, which I don't believe we have any. Just a quick reminder, you have 7 days to shop for Christmas, so please visit our downtown merchants. Though I'm sure we'll all be open this next 7 days and would love your business. And just Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Enjoy time with your family. And we were going into executive session and you're fine. Come on up, Donna.
No.
Come on up. State your name and address, obviously, for the record. Thank you.
Donna Lucky, 910 Wallace Avenue. First and foremost, welcome, Benjamin. We're looking for big things out of you.
No pressure.
So don't disappoint.
I will not. Thank you.
You know, the water tower has just been a thorn in our side since day one, of course. So when is it now proposed to begin versus when should it have begun?
I don't know if I know the answer.
I think I can give you a maybe an 80% answer out of 100. My understanding is based off the conversations, and I can bring our finance director up in case I'm wrong, or Mr. Jones, but my understanding is the water tower project is slated for 26. We're working through the funding now to secure that, but we are pushing and hoping that it is completed as quickly as possible, but our understanding is 2026. Versus when, I can't answer that.
Okay. Was it not initially 2025, and that's the reason you got the $3 million grant, but now it's 4.6?
It was always 4.6.
It was always 4.6?
Or it was,
it wasn't
it was
initially.
for something. It was never going to
And
be
the
3
price,
million.
the cost
The
went up.
cost went up,
Yeah.
but that wasn't because of the delay that the cost went up. I think just the cost of goods, steel went up.
Right, but
because
the
of
3 million was
economy.
never going to cover the full cost.
Yeah.
But to a point, I think it was closer to 3.9, maybe
Yeah.
4, when we
And I-
got the grant.
I don't believe we're
State of the Milford back at the beginning of this year, there's given a timeline at that point. I can't pull it up
Okay.
right now, but if you go on our website, there is a timeline, and then you could kind of see from that point.
But
Okay.
we're a little bit delayed, but I don't
Yeah,
think
but not
much.
Yeah,
by a
but to your
lot.
I
frustration,
know.
the infrastructure repair with,
Right.
unfortunately, what the condition of Wallace Avenue is now was much more extensive than I believe was first anticipated.
Yes.
So that was the delay of building the infrastructure before you could even start the water tower itself. And so I share your frustration traveling through there. Obviously, I don't live on there like you do. But I believe that was a big part of it, was some of it was out of our control, was when they started basically designing it and realizing that our infrastructure was needed
Kind of
upgrades.
piecemeal, like over
Yes.
the hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So Donna lives, if you leave here and go up to the water tower, she's on Wallace to Main Street.
Yeah.
So she's had to deal with all the infrastructure,
The
construction, the road tore up for the last couple of years.
So what leads me to my second question. Of the in excess of $250,000 in Vermont County, can't something be done with Wallace going towards Garfield? The holes get bigger. It's certainly not going to get any better. Wallace down to 5 points isn't as bad, but once you go past that water tower and head down the hill, just big holes. Those trucks continue to come through there that, as we all know, aren't supposed to, but
Yeah.
I just would think we
One-
could do something.
So until the project's finished, it's going to get a lot more traffic also, which is going to
Oh,
help.
absolutely. I mean, we see it every day,
Right.
let alone the poor Amazon trucks. All right.
I guess my answer to that is, obviously, this is going to be a continued conversation. We can discuss this with our service director and see if there's perhaps something that we can do in the short term to help with some of those potholes, but until that project is completed, of course, we don't want to make any long-term decisions, but I have noted your question, and we'll see what we can do.
You know, we don't expect a full repavement, but anything at this point would work.
We did have a discussion at our committee meeting about the whole resurfacing plan, And is it current? Do we need to relook at it? What's the ranking of the streets? We talked about all of that, to relook at that too,
So
so.
I think they have to dig up some more road
Yeah.
up there on Wallace.
Oh, yeah.
Once they start
Oh,
actual
yeah.
construction.
Yeah,
That's
they're
why it
gonna
hasn't
be
been.
digging
Yeah.
more.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
All right, third one.
Yes.
Can you have a portalet on your sidewalk?
Not blocking city right away, I would not think.
Might want to drive by 22 Garfield again.
Did it go back on the
See, I thought we had it
sidewalk? I
moved
thought
during
it
hometown
moved.
holidays.
And you
or
put
during
it back on
fair.
the sidewalk.
Okay. Chief, did you take note of that?
Yeah. Thank you.
That's,
Thank you.
that's
Yeah,
all I have.
Thank you.
And welcome again.
Thank you.
All right, so again, we are going into executive session, and we will return only, well, we have to return.
Yeah, we gotta return.
We'll return to discuss the ordinance, otherwise just adjourn. So, thank you.
Right, I think that's-
So does that make sense?
To return to the regular meeting.
So moved?
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Jones, I just have one question, make sure, because I wrote the legislation, I may have written it incorrectly. The effective dates are June 30, 2024 through July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2027, correct? That would be correct. All right, so I'm just gonna make that note here in the legislation in hand to make sure we have it right. If you would bear with me 1 second. I apologize for having the wrong date.
You're fine? Yes. That was 3 years.
24,
for you?
25, 26.
Since it's retroactive.
Oh, because it's.
It's
only a month,
retroactive.
yeah.
Well, it's written on here as 2027. I think it's 27.
Yeah, because we're in
24,
20, yeah,
25.
25, 26.
25 is 1, 26 is 2, it's 27, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
June,
How many council members
Half a
does it
month.
take to do math every week?
June 30th, 27.
All right, that makes sense.
July 1.
Sorry about that, that's my error, thank you.
Okay.
Ordinance number 24-326, an ordinance authorizing an agreement between the City of Milford, Ohio and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, OPBA, representing patrol officers. Serb case number 2024-MED-09-1125. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to execute the agreement 2024-MED-09-1125 between the City of Milford, Ohio and the OPBA, representing the patrol officers of the Milford Police Department, effective June 30, 2024 through July 1. Sorry, again, July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2027. I have that right, correct? Thank you. July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2027. Thank you all. The terms and conditions of said agreement are hereby incorporated by reference in their entirety pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
I just got a point of order, and on an ordinance, since we came out of executive session, can we just, because we never authorized in open session to do an ordinance, correct me if I'm wrong?
No, I thought you did it with the committee. The committee recommended it yesterday, is what I thought. That's how I read the
Oh,
minutes.
no, we didn't
Yeah,
have it.
we did not.
We did not have it
We
on
did
our
not
plan.
have it at
No.
the committee yesterday.
Okay,
I thought maybe it came out of another committee.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I was
just a
thinking.
point of order.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Well, then I think what we need to do is have a committee of the whole
Okay,
right now
all right,
to address this issue. I'm glad you caught
Do I have a
that.
motion to open a committee of the whole
So
meeting?
moved.
yeah.
Second.
So then,
We have to vote.
we'll-
We have to
yeah,
vote?
we will make a motion to,
Wait, we have
We
to
have to
vote
vote.
first.
oh, I'm sorry, all right.
Yeah, now you gotta do, right. And
Roll call.
then Ralph, you
Or,
have it.
sorry, not vote, roll call.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
And now I will make a motion to draft an ordinance accepting the contract, whichever, so it'd
I need
be
to do this one also.
24.-325.
2024 MED 091124 and 1125, if you do
Oh,
them
I
both.
see that here,
Yeah.
okay.
Is that okay, if you want
Yes.
to do both?
So I'll make that motion to draft an ordinance accepting the agreement of 2004 MED Media 09124 and 2024 MED 091125.
You got it.
Second.
Need to vote again?
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
No,
Thank you. I
motion-
just assumed it
motion-
came out of it.
Motion, yeah, so did I.
Motion
Motion
to
to
close
adjourn the
the
committee of the
whole
whole.
meeting.
Second. It's all right, we give the guy a raise. You think
that's
he'd
not
catch
fun.
all that
I just assumed it was
stuff.
another committee meeting. I didn't
He's
pay
earning
attention.
his Diet Coke
It's a
tonight.
roll call. Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Only in Porkopolis can you see the sausage made. Ordinance number 24-326, an ordinance authorizing an agreement between the City of Milford, Ohio, and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, OPBA, representing patrol officers, serb case number 2024-MED-09-1125. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the city manager to execute the agreement, 2024-MED-091125, between the City of Milford and the OPBA representing the patrol officers of the Milford Police Department effective July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2027. The terms and conditions of said agreement are hereby incorporated by reference in their entirety pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-326, an ordinance authorizing an agreement between the City of Milford, Ohio, and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, OPBA, representing patrol officers, serb case number 2024-MED-01-11, 2024-MED-09-1125.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Thank you.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-325, an ordinance authorizing an agreement between the City of Milford, Ohio, and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, OPBA, representing Patrol Sergeants, serb case number 2024-MED-09-1124. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Ohio, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford Ohio hereby authorizes the city manager to execute the agreement 2024-MED-09-1124 between the City of Milford, Ohio, and the OPBA representing the sergeants of the Milford Police Department effective July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2027. The terms and conditions of said agreement are hereby incorporated by reference in their entirety and pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, under and in accordance with Sections 12.05 and 12.07 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Motion to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ordinance number 24-325, an ordinance authorizing an agreement between the City of Milford, Ohio, and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, OPBA, representing patrol sergeants, serb case number 2024-MED-09-1124.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. Yes.
Mayor, may I take 30
Yes.
seconds,
Yes, you may.
please? So I would like to say, Mr. Jones, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed it. I look forward to being the best jokester in Milford after Friday, or maybe not, maybe just one of. And I appreciate working with you. I've enjoyed it immensely, and I hope that our paths cross in some venture at some point. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you. Benjamin, I've enjoyed getting to know you even the little bit, even talking on the phone today. I look forward to working with you, and I'm really excited about that prospect. Council, thank you again. I know you passed me last time, but I appreciate it again. I enjoyed doing it. I love working with this team, and so I appreciate it. And I wanted to wish all of you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Whatever, if that's Christmas is not your holiday, then enjoy the time, be safe, and enjoy whatever holiday you celebrate, and everybody have a happy and safe New Year. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Price?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes. All right, thank you, everyone.
Merry